everyone, and welcome to our next episode of Spotlight on Success, where we are bringing you the tips and the strategies for you to increase your business savvy and really become a strong woman entrepreneur in business. We are so excited today. I am so excited today to welcome Rachel Blaufeld to our expert hot seat, and she is bringing with her today a fantastic topic: how to be a fit and healthy mom blogger. And I think for those of us who aren't even moms, we also want to know how to be fit and healthy, so I'm really excited about this topic. And before we jump in, please let me give Rachel a proper introduction. Rachel Blaufeld is founder of Back in Groove Mom, a blog that is committed to helping all moms stay relevant and sexy with everything from fashion trends to beauty advice, to starting a business, to growing the mind, to increasing health and fitness. Rachel provides an all-access pass to her personal journey, plus tips and information on mom-related topics. So Rachel, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
Well, yeah, absolutely.
I'm so excited to be here.
Well, and this is such a great topic. We haven't really talked about the health aspect of running a business, but it is so vital to being able to bring your A game on a regular basis that I think it's incredibly valuable. So, fabulous way to really kick off first quarter of 2012.
Absolutely. Well, I think, so many moms come to me and, they're always asking me work-life balance questions, how to fit it all in everything from taking care of yourself to providing healthy meals to your children, to running your business, to extended family obligations, and still being a great spouse. And, our agendas are really full. And I think that often the first thing to go are things that we do for ourselves, and everything from, simply getting a manicure to exercise. We take out the pieces that are important to us. And exercise is so crucial because when we get rid of that, we actually feel less energetic, more sluggish, and less productive.
I agree. I actually forced myself to go for a long, brisk walk today because I just have been spending way too much time just sitting in front of my computer, and I start to feel like a slug, and then my mind follows suit. So I find that really getting the blood flowing, breathing in and out, fresh air, whatever it takes, really makes a big difference. So I would love to start with your best strategies on how women should really work to incorporate exercise into a busy blogging schedule.
Okay. Well, I think, the most important step is to actually use a calendar. So, everybody has different methods in which they like to keep their schedule. They use their phone, they use their computer. Some people still use a pen and paper calendar. And I think that the first step is to actually look at your schedule and find a few blocks of time in there that you have. It doesn't have to be long. It could be 30 minutes, 45 minutes, an hour of time. And then when you actually see where you have that block of time, you have to mark your exercise in. You have to commit yourself to it, just like I did today to this phone call with you. You have to put it in your agenda, just like it's an appointment or a meeting, and don't change it. I mean, obviously be a little fluid. You have a child homesick from school or an emergency or whatnot, but really try not to change it. Firmly schedule it in your calendar. I think that's the first step really at starting an exercise plan. And the second step is either you have something that you really like already to do. It's something in exercise, whether you run or walk or spin or Pilates or yoga or whatever it is. If you already know what that is, then do what you love. Don't do something that your friend is doing or that your neighbor is doing, but really do something that you love. If you don't know what you love, then certainly go and try everything that everybody you know is doing until you find something that you love. Because if it's something you really like doing, you're going to go do it much sooner than something that you're just doing because your neighbor said it was great.
I agree. It's got to be something, if you want to develop that healthy habit, it's got to be something that you actually look forward to doing. If it's something that is always drudgery for you and you just have to drag your butt out the door to do it, then it's going to be the first thing that you just chuck off the calendar when you don't want to. So.
And I know, moms and women in business, we all have really different schedules. Some moms are on morning duty. They're responsible for the breakfast and getting their kids on the bus. And some moms have their husbands play that role and they're on the afternoon duty. And, some women work in a traditional office space, where they're out the door early and home late. And some moms work from home like I do. So I think you have to take all of that into consideration in your plan. And, if you're out early and home late, there's a lot of home options that you could do. There's a lot of great fitness tapes, or, invest in a piece of equipment at home. It'll be the best investment you ever made. It's hard to get up really early. A lot of people don't want to get up and drive to the gym and take their clothes to change. So a home equipment is great. For me, being a blogger and running a home business, I find if I sit at my desk for, 8 hours straight, I just feel awful. So I try and break up my day. I'm at my desk really early in the morning, usually at 5 or 5:30 in the morning. I'm up with the dogs and we're making coffee and I'm at my desk and I get a few hours of work in before and right after the kids leave for school, and I try and take a mid-morning exercise break if I can, if I don't have a meeting, and it just kind of breaks up my day so I don't feel like I'm sitting in the same spot, for that many hours. So I think there's a lot of ways you could schedule it, and at the very least, what I always suggest, if there's days that I have meeting after meeting or I'm really busy and I'm looking for a break to exercise, I make it a family activity later. So, when the kids come home, I say, well, let's go take a walk. Let's walk to the library or take a family bike ride or even walk for an ice cream on a nice evening. Just get in a little movement. And, that's just a way you can fit it in on a day that you're not able to do a regular class or something like that.
I love that last tip, because I do think that a lot of times moms feel very pulled. And if you can get the family involved, then you don't sacrifice what it is that you need to do for yourself to really be at your best for all those you care about. And another step in that direction is really focusing on healthy eating. And I know that it's difficult sometimes to, have that normalcy of good food preparation, planning in advance and that kind of thing. So, how do you recommend women do that well? Create those meal plans, be healthy, make wise choices, and avoid, swinging by the burger joint on the way home for a bag of slop. So.
Right. I think it's really hard. It takes a lot of planning, and it's something that I constantly struggle with, and really just engaging my husband and my family in kind of planning, and really, again, back to the calendar, knowing what all your commitments are in the afternoons and evenings, and just looking ahead. So what I find is I try and do something on Sunday. I know a lot of moms do some cooking on Sunday, one or two things that can get me through at least Wednesday, and I have a few meals prepped because, you can either warm them up quickly or make them in the crock pot in the morning, and I'm ready to go. And then there's always this midweek, Wednesday or Thursday, kind of grab the Chinese takeout or the pizza. We have one break midweek, which is nice. And then Friday nights for us, we definitely try and stay in, and, it's not as rushed, make a nice meal. The kids are relaxing. It's the end of the work week. And I try and involve everybody in a little help, either with prep or cleanup. And, and then Saturday night, I aim for date night. Doesn't happen always, and that's great. The kids like that because they get to eat, something fun, and I get to go out for adult food, and, and then we're back to Sunday to planning again. So I think, if you allow for kind of two breaks in there, a hump day, kind of grab something, and, a weekend grab something, and just maybe make a double batch of something and plan ahead, you can achieve it. I don't try real gourmet things during the week. I know moms that can do it. I wish I had a little nanny cam in their house so I could see how they did it. But I just, I aim for the basic, and I just aim for healthy alternative that everybody will eat. And, winter's crock pot, summer grilling, unlike you, we don't have nice weather here year round. So that's pretty much what I do. And again, it just the same message through everything, you know, either planning for exercise or planning for healthy eating. The key word is planning. And making an agenda or making a schedule for it.
I agree. I mean, to do anything well, you've got to have a plan in place to actually get it done. And it holds true with the eating. And I love that you have basically deciphered what a good rhythm is for your family for the 7-day period, giving yourself a break, which I think all moms and women entrepreneurs need to do on a regular basis. Give yourself a break and, you know, not try to be perfect. You know, I don't think that June Cleaver was ever a realistic role model for any woman. And that doesn't, you know, just because you're not perfect doesn't mean that you can't be healthy. So I think that was your point, and having that plan in place, which I love. So the next big question is when we have to travel for our work, and you know, whether the family comes with you or not, you still need to try to maintain those healthy habits. So, you know, how do you adjust to a travel schedule as a woman entrepreneur and maintaining those good habits, whether through fitness or eating well?
Right. Well, it's funny that you say that because I was away last week. I was invited to a conference, and I left the kids at home with my husband, and my mom actually came with me to the conference, and she had a little personal time with some friends in the city where we were, and I was working, and you know, she was commenting on every little step of my way, but you know, I always try and exercise while I'm away. It's not my same routine that I do at home, but it just to get the blood flowing and the mind going and sort of get rid of some of your extra energy. So, you know what it means? It means just waking up a little bit earlier in the morning or coming back to the hotel or wherever you're staying a little bit later and, you know, having a break in between the end of your day and dinner, which sometimes you can do because you don't have to plan dinner for your kids, which is really nice, or you don't have to make breakfast for your kids. So you have this luxury of having this little time. So it's kind of nice in that sense that you have maybe an extra 30 minutes somewhere that you wouldn't normally have at home. And I use that for exercise. The eating when you're on the road, for me, it's hard. You know, you're eating out. You know, I always try and bring snacks with me, you know, nuts, almonds, snack bars, protein bars. And I always have to find the nearest coffee place because that's my vice. But I did have meals at home planned for the kids. And, you know, I had my normal routine on Sunday where I was cooking a little bit, and I froze some stuff for them. And so they were able to have meals at home with Dad. And, you know, they got to have fun things. You know, there was burgers and fries and, you know, things that we don't normally make all the time in the middle of the week. And I think they had a good time, and I'm sure that they went out for ice cream every night without me knowing. And that's good. That's great. But I think, you know, everything we've been talking about, again, is just planning ahead. It's thinking ahead. And I say this, and I need to caution that even though I emphasize planning and thinking ahead, there's also has to be an amount of forgiveness. So, you know, if things don't follow the plan, if you have, you know, the burger run through, you go for the fast food one night because you're just in 100 directions, or last week when I was away, I did miss, you know, a workout here or there. You just forgive yourself, and you need to get back on track the next day, because it's very easy to fall in the cycle of saying, oh, well, I have been eating the fast food and I missed my workout for a few days. I'll just continue down that path. And then it really becomes a vicious cycle.
Yes. And that's the best point there, is that you've got to get back on track. You know, as soon as you're home, don't fall out of your routine, because I think what happens is that when we drop one piece of our routine, we let it kind of go to the wayside, other things start to degrade as well, and we lose that productivity and efficiency that we've gotten so great at producing day after day. And so you want to get back into that groove.
Right, exactly. And it's just like, you know, because we're talking about business, and even though we're talking about the lifestyle part of it, when we talk about making a formal business plan, and you always have to have your plan, and everybody's, recommendation is that that's a living, breathing document. It changes as your business evolves. Mm-hmm. And so I think it's this, you approach your life and your work-life balance in the same way that you plan. It's a living, breathing document. So you plan your agenda, you try and stick to it, you do the best you can. But when you get knocked off of it or knocked down, you get right back on and move forward and maybe correct where you need to correct, as to what happened. Did you overschedule somewhere or overplan somewhere or overestimate? And you work from there instead of, just continuing down the wrong path.
Mm-hmm. And that's where I think, having check and balances and accountability measures in place really help you. As you are describing, when you fall off the wagon, it really helps you come back because you have those stop gaps in place that, raise your awareness and you think, oh my goodness, okay, yeah, got to get back on track. So it's kind of that little kick in the pants that you need, and it's good to have those as part of your routine as well. And if you need that accountability, I always recommend, having somebody, a peer, probably not your spouse, but have a peer who you're going to check in with, and who you're going to be held responsible for the goals that you set, and you guys do that for each other. And I do think that's really valuable.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Even this morning, I was having a problem on my website, and it was giving me this error message. And of course, I couldn't get up from my computer to go away from it. It was driving me crazy, and I'm emailing everybody, what can I do? What can I do? And I always go to a particular exercise class early on Tuesday morning, and my husband walked by my desk and he said, "You're not going to your class?" And the time had gotten away from me, mm-hmm. and I didn't realize, and luckily the stars aligned and everything was corrected and I was able to go. But that's exactly it. You need to have some kind of check and balance in place. And, that's when it helps if you can find, if you are a runner or a walker, or you have a buddy that, you can exercise with here and there, or I have a bunch of friends that we swap recipes back and forth for healthy meals. And so, again, the broad community is your friend, and, get some pals and definitely put that in place.
And never be afraid to ask for help, because it does not mean that you're weak. It means that you are courageous and smart.
Right. And as women, we so resist asking for help. I mean, we don't like to ask for help. We think we can do it all. Mm-hmm. And I'm guilty of it, 6 out of the 7 days a week. But we need to try and do that more.
I agree. All across the board. It's not a weakness, absolutely.
Right.
Well, Rachel, this has been such a great topic today, and I know that you provide information for mom bloggers and women entrepreneurs constantly on your site. So for women who want to get more information, where do they go?
Well, my site is groovemom.com, and I post there several times a week, and if you want to get caught up, we have all of our archives right there. You can find me on Twitter at Back and Groove Mom, and also on Facebook at Back and Groove Mom. So I love to have feedback. I love to connect with other moms and women in business, and even feature them on my site. And, it's a great way to share all of our information and our little tips with one another. So connect with me. It would be great. I'd love it.
I agree. For everybody who's watching, there's a tremendous amount of value on Rachel's blog, and so do take the time to check her out. Please connect with her. She's a fabulous resource, and honestly, women can do amazing things when we come together and we work together to build our businesses and take them to that next level. So thank you all so much for watching today. Please stay tuned for our next Spotlight on Success coming soon. Until then, shine brightly, ladies.